I'd like to welcome you to the 28th Annual Penguin Club Scholarship Ring Dinner. My name's Rob Schmidt. I'll be your host for the evening. Just a reminder, as we always try to make note in a crowd like this and on such a eventful night, if you would please turn your cell phones to either vibrate or mute. If you have to tweet about tonight's event, for those of you who are younger, you can use the hashtag YSU Ring. According to our athletic communications department, I don't know anything about Instagram. You're on your own. Too old for that. All right, before we get things rolling again, a special thank you to everybody here at Mr. Anthony's. They've been the host of this thing for a long time, and they do a fantastic job. Nice round of applause for the staff and management here at Mr. Anthony's. Appreciate their hospitality. Also, thanks to Cavelli Enterprises for their continued support of our Scholarship Ring Banquet. I'd like to thank Birkeland Flowers for your centerpieces on your tables here this evening. Also, thanks to Commercial Printing. If you have an opportunity, please take a look at our program banquet tonight. We want to thank all of our sponsors and our area businesses who have taken out ads in that program book. Please take time to leaf through that. We want to thank Commercial Printing again for their work on those program ads. Also, we would like to thank LED 3 in the back. It's their fault that my big head is to your left and right in the corner on the video screen. Also, we want to thank Greg Roten, who's recording this for Armstrong. If you want to watch it again, if you can't get enough of this banquet, he'll show it again on channels 20 and 100 on Armstrong. He also has DVDs available, but they are not for free. All right, before we bring up our first guest speaker, there are several people here tonight, as we would always like to do, that we want to recognize. First off, our Executive Director of Intercollegiate Athletics at Youngstown State University, Ron Strollo. Is he getting something to eat? Also, thanks to our Associate Athletic Directors, both Elaine Jacobs and Rick Love. The guys who coordinated this event tonight, I see one because he's 6'10", Jim Morrison, Tom Morella, and John Tomsick. John, wave. You can spot him at Grand Central Station. All right, congratulations are in order for our men's and women's indoor track and field teams for winning the Horizon League championships last season. They're going to try and defend their titles this weekend at the Watts. Best of luck to both our men's and women's indoor track and field teams. If you have an opportunity to stop by, please support them and show up at the Watts for this weekend's Horizon League championships. Also, we would like to recognize head coach Brian Gorby and his staff, if they would please stand. Coach Gorby has kind of set the bar for winning championships. Don't forget, they also won the men's and women's outdoor track and field championships. He doesn't have enough fingers for the rings that he owns. Also, would women's tennis head coach Mikkel Sopel please stand for winning the Horizon League championship last spring. Now, overall, there are more than 350 student athletes now at Youngstown State University. More than 60% of them have attained a cumulative GPA of 3.0 or higher. And they're not all here tonight, obviously, but those student athletes who are in attendance, who are at your tables, who have been getting you your autographed football and basketballs, would they please stand tonight? That's why we're here. We're here for the betterment of our student athletes and to make the future student athletes do just that much better. All right, plus 18 athletic teams earned a cumulative GPA of 3.0 or higher last spring. Thanks to all of our coaches who make that possible. Those in attendance, would you please stand? I like how they're all kind of hesitant to stand, right? Even Coach Schrum, who has never lost a game here as our new women's soccer coach, was hesitant, right? Don't worry, no one's coming after you tonight, all right? Unless it's Coach Pelini, and then they might attack you afterwards for an autograph or two. Also, we would like to thank our athletic staff, the rest of our athletic staff that I did not introduce to you. Would they please stand? They're the ones that get shafted. They get on the outsides. They don't get the prime seating here. Now, during his tenure as the president of Youngstown State University, we've seen a tremendous amount of progress. Everyone that's either a YSU alum, a current student, an employee, or just a resident here in Youngstown is very proud of the work that he has done. He's led efforts to increase enrollment and retention, raised a record amount of gifts, balanced the budget, and re-energized this campus and the community. It's my privilege to bring up the former Penguin of the Year and our president of Youngstown State University, Jim Tressel.
Thanks so much, Rob. 28 years ago, I think, we started this extraordinary evening, and we took pride in all of the things that Rob mentioned, our great student athletes and our coaches and our athletic administration and so forth. And we also took great pride in it being one of those fun nights where you just get to eat and enjoy and meet our student athletes. And we get started on time and we end on time. And we started 3 minutes late tonight, Rob. And so we're going to have to pick this up, and I have to shorten my remarks. He gave me 1:15, right, is what they told me. And now it'll be down to 45. But this truly is one of the great events in the Valley during the course of the year. And when you saw those student athletes stand up, and you see the extraordinary young people they are, and they're from all different majors, all different locations, many different sports. They bring a spirit and an excitement and an excellence to our valley and to our university that is difficult to duplicate. And that makes it an awfully special night. We know how hard our coaches work, our athletic trainers, our equipment managers, our administrators. They do an amazing job to make sure that when the red and white and black is out there representing us all over the world, that they do it first class, and it's special. Every time we have this banquet, I think of Coach Malmazer. And I don't know did Joe Mal make it? I see John Hayden back there because I see that big white beard. You know, winter's over, John, so it's about time to shave. But anyway, Joe Mal didn't make it, but Joe Malmazer and Jim Morrison started this thing 28 years ago. And to think you can get nearly 1,000 people in the room to recognize the accomplishments of extraordinary group of coaches and athletes and teams and so forth is amazing. And then you always add the cherry on the top, which is the Penguin of the Year. And this year, the Hively family, they've been extraordinary with their impact on the region, their love for Youngstown State University and for the entire Valley. Every year we have the chance to recognize a family that's made a difference and done wonderful things in our area. At an event this size and with all that's going on, it's a special thing. So on behalf of the entire Youngstown State University family and two of our Board of Trustees here, Dr. Jack Jacobek and Professor David Dybel back there. Is he a professor? I just gave you an honorary degree of professor. I have that ability. And I don't think any of our other board members are here, but on behalf of all of us that represent Youngstown State University, thank you for being here. Penguin Club, thank you for all that you do for our institution. Enjoy the evening. I'm looking forward to, McCasker's been down here practicing his speech. He is going to stumble and bumble, I can just tell. But it's a special night. Have fun. God bless all of you. Go Penguins.
You know, the best thing he did as president here at Youngstown State was had an interdepartment softball game this past summer. And President Tressel was the all-time pitcher. What was that, 2 days, right? How many games? 16? Pitched every inning. Got whacked in the knee, right? Got whacked in the shoulder. Didn't notice it, just kept rolling right along. Made an old man up here feel young again. I'll go to my grave. I got 3 hits off him, very happy. Popped my hamstring on the last one, didn't care. My daughter recorded it, I still watch it. It's funny. I was fast, I was going quick around first to second. But I admire what he does and want to thank him for making an old man feel young again. As many of you know, the athletics department really relies upon the Penguin Club and its members to help our teams compete at the highest level. Your support of events like tonight is imperative for our continued success. And while most of you may already be Penguin Club members in attendance here tonight, the current president, Tom, here would like to come forward. If you are not a member, he's going to explain why you need to be a member, and then we'll get John Tomsick to prove to you why you're going to be a member after he's done. Would Tom Hero please come forward?
Thanks, Rob. You know, a couple of weeks ago when I found out I was going to be speaking tonight and got the coveted post-Jim Tressel slot in the agenda, I had to admit I was a little bit intimidated. So walking out of the house tonight, I asked my wife if she had any words of encouragement for me, and she said that whatever you do, Tom, she goes, don't try to be too charming, too witty, or too intellectual. Just be yourself. But welcome again to our 28th annual Penguin Club Scholarship Ring Dinner. Tonight is truly a night to celebrate. We're here to celebrate our student athletes, our coaches, special contributors, and to celebrate as the Penguin Club as well. Our Penguins of the Year, the Hively family. Lee, Diane, a personal thank you for your commitment, dedication, and passion for Youngstown State University over the years. It's very much appreciated. The Penguin Club is the booster organization that supports the 400-plus student athletes competing in 19 Division I sports. And as the cost of both higher education and athletic competition continue to rise, so do the challenges of competing at a championship level. To meet this challenge each year, the YSU Athletic Department relies heavily on the Penguin Club to provide that margin of excellence each year. Penguin Club membership revenue is used to cover the cost of athletic grant and aid for our student athletes and to enhance and support the athletic department's general fund. 2017 was a great year for the Penguin Club. Quite frankly, it was a record year. And it was a record year primarily to a lot of you that are here in attendance tonight. If you are a Penguin Club member, I want to thank you for your support. Your contributions made some of the following things happen last year: providing scholarship for 4 student athletes, contributions of over $40,000 to the athletic department for the purchase of technology items such as computers, servers, and video equipment for our staff and our student athletes. The Penguin Club externally funded a position within the athletic department and provided stipends to the YSU student assistants working in the YSU athletic marketing and sports information areas. And we recently completed a renovation of a classroom space in Beagley Center. I would now ask that Penguin Club Board of Trustee members please stand and be recognized for your support of YSU athletics. Membership in the Penguin Club is open to anyone. You don't need to be a parent of a student athlete. You don't need to be an alumni. You just need to be someone who cares about your community. And one of the things you can do right now is a brand new initiative started by the Penguin Club. I know you have a lot of people out there that go out and shop on Amazon all the time, and we just launched a program yesterday. So if you have your phone with you, you want to go to smile.amazon.com. smile.amazon.com and bookmark that. And when you log into Amazon under the Smile account, you're able to pick a charitable group that a percentage of your purchase each time you purchase on Amazon will go to. And you're going to go in. I know I'm looking at Eddie right now. He's going to go in and pull his phone out and do this. You can select the Penguin Club. So it's a great new thing that everyone can get involved with, no matter what level of support. If you're not a Penguin Club member, then quite simply, I'm going to ask you to consider becoming one tonight. There's a group of us around here that would be more than happy. I have applications back at the table. Your participation is what's going to provide that margin of excellence this year. And it won't take you long to see the tremendous impact that you're going to have on our student athletes, our university, and our community. Thank you, and go Penguins.
That's funny, Tom, that your wife said that to you before the event. I get that same speech from Strollo every year before this event. Keep it moving. Don't try to be funny. Don't outstep your boundaries. All right, now just a reminder here, we've got some scheduling notes for you as well. Both the men's and women's basketball teams will close out their regular season this weekend, Saturday, with a doubleheader against Cleveland State. Women get things started at 4:15. The men will follow at 7 o'clock. We expect a good crowd. Hope to see you there as both teams close out the regular season and then head to Motor City Madness in Detroit the following weekend, March 2nd through the 6th at the new Little Caesars Arena. If you still have any doubts as to whether Detroit is the place to host this, please go this year. You'll witness it for yourself at the new arena. It is second to none. It should be a great showcase for our men and women's basketball teams. Now, if you've been to a men's game this year, then you've noticed some new excitement, new optimism, and tonight it's my pleasure to bring forth the man who's responsible for that. Would you please welcome first-year head coach Jared Calhoun.
I'll make sure I don't go too long. Thanks, Schmitty, for that introduction. A lot of people have asked me, coaching friends, family, I have a lot of family in the area, what have you learned about Youngstown? What's really stood out? And the first thing that I've learned in my first year coaching here is you got to have a point guard. Point guard play is so important, veteran leadership. What we look for in a point guard are a few things. We like our point guard to be a great leader. We want him to have great communication, be determined. Those are some of the things that we look for in a point guard. And I'm very fortunate. I think we have the best point guard in the country that's leading our university, and President Jim Tressel. He's been tremendous to my family and I. We lost about 8 or 9 in a row, and that's very difficult, not only on a coach, but a family, and he really encouraged me throughout the year. The other thing that I've learned is our fan base here is very real. We have a chance on Saturday, if we can sell this place out and beat the Vikings twice, sweep our good friends up there in Cleveland twice this year, we can finish top four in our conference. And that hasn't been said in a long time. We're averaging around 2,500, so we need about 5,000 fans there on Saturday. I think we said we're up to about 4,000 sold. So we need everybody here to get on the phone this week and let's sell that thing out. Our women's team is playing great basketball right now, so come support them. All the teams that are here tonight, track and field, our women's tennis team, any coach, any player that's been part of a championship team, when you receive that ring, it's a special thing. It's not really about the championship. It's about the relationships. It's about those memories. So you guys that have had those great years and those coaches this year, you should be very proud and understand that'll be with you guys forever. Lee, I got a chance to meet your wife tonight real briefly, and she mentioned it's Lee and the posse is here tonight. And I want to thank you guys for what you've done and all the Penguin Club members out here, because it's been just really humbling to see so many people give to these student athletes, and that's why we're here tonight. So I'm looking forward to hearing Tevin's speech. Don't listen to President Tressel. I think you're going to knock it out. His story is amazing. This guy sat out a year. I read up on you and did some research on you. Came to the field every day and wanted to be a part of a winning program when he wasn't playing. So I'm really looking forward to that. Hopefully you guys can come on Saturday. Like I said, this is a special place. It's a special time to be a Penguin. And let's sell this thing out on Saturday. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Coach. They got back last night from Highland Heights, Kentucky, about 3:30 in the morning. So thank you for Coach for coming here tonight. Thanks for stealing my intro to Tevin. Appreciate that. Now I've got to try and ad-lib, and that always leads to problems. All right, YSU student athletes not only work hard in the classroom, as we have talked about, and not only work hard on the playing field, but they truly care about this community. And I think sometimes that gets brushed under the rug. Not everybody talks about what they do outside of the classroom and outside of the playing field. But they participated in 145 outreach programs and assisted nearly 12,000 people this past year. So far during this current academic year, our teams have completed over 800 hours of community outreach programs. The softball team has won the Horizon League's Outreach Award for the past 6 years. This year, the baseball team leads the way with more than 400 hours of community service. Would you please pay attention now to the video screens as we give you a little bit more information about how our YSU student athletes are making a difference in this community.
Warming up, and there's always people chirping and wishing you luck on the sideline and in the stands before the game. And it just so happened while I was getting a drink of water, I had found through the crowd her dad knelt down next to her, kind of pointing and showing different coaches and players and stuff. And I thought it'd be a good opportunity to just kind of run over and just say hello and give her a high five. And so I did. I ran over and introduced myself, and her face lit up, and her dad thanked me for coming over, and it was a really cool moment. And the following week, I got an email, or I got notified that her dad had emailed people associated with YSU Athletics, basically thanking me and thanking our department for what we had done. And he also told us that she was a cancer survivor. And me not having any idea, it just struck a chord with me because I knew she was special just by looking at her, but I had no idea how special, what strength her and her family must have. I wanted to meet them. I wanted to show them more and impact them in a bigger way. So that's what I did. I immediately got on the phone and contacted her father, and they came back out for another game. I got them sideline passes to on the sideline. They also, before pregame meal, I gave them a tour of campus. I showed them all of our athletic facilities at YSU. They got to try on my helmet and jersey, although it did not fit them as well as it fits me.
All right, look at my other hand. There you go. Hang on, you're fine. There you go. Look at you.
As big as you are.
Jersey. Let me see it. Here, let me see. Look over here.
The dad got a signed jersey from me and Coach Bo. It was one of my jerseys signed, and her dad just kept thanking me. And I kept telling him I'm thankful too. I wanted him to know I'm thankful too, because I was able to use my platform as a YSU student athlete to impact others, and just to meet that amazing, another Youngstown family I got to meet, and it was just a special moment. I still keep in touch with them today. My time at Youngstown State is something I will never forget, and I'm so thankful it happened.
One of the highlights of this night is an opportunity for you to meet our student athletes. They sit at your tables. You get an opportunity to kind of walk around, introduce yourselves to them. You have an opportunity to watch them play, watch them grow, watch them become vital members of our society. And one of the best things about this event tonight, in addition to our Penguin of the Year, is two of our student athletes always come forward and talk about their experiences here at Youngstown State, and tonight is no different. Our first student athlete is an exercise science major from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. She is the second person in attendance tonight that I know that speaks French fluently. The other is Noe Anneber from the YSU men's basketball team. As a member of the women's tennis team, she was named to the first team All-Horizon League last season as a junior while earning her second letter. She posted an overall record of 26-11. Against the league, she was 7-2. Playing mostly at number 2 last spring, she had a season-long 8-match singles winning streak at one point. In 2017, during the Horizon League Championships, she earned wins against Detroit Mercy and Wright State. Would you please welcome Noelle, Longi, and Simba.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Noelle. I'm from Montreal, Quebec, and I am a senior at YSU. As an international student and as a student athlete, the experience that I've got the chance to live at YSU has been gratifying. I started my tennis journey as a young little girl with a big dream of one day playing tennis on the professional tour. I worked hard on and off court so I could start my career by getting a degree first and getting as much experience and refinement in my game. Coming to America, to the United States, far away from my family and being confronted to excel out of my comfort zone and also speaking a second language has forced me to build strength, self-belief, and self-trust. Over the years, I learned a lot and gained maturity as a woman and as an athlete. I am so thankful because I have been able to travel and see different parts of the world, and this had allowed me to work and meet with all kinds of beautiful people, and this has provided me with a feeling of accomplishment. You know, it isn't always easy to wake up early in the morning and go for a hard workout, but what made it beautiful is what I got from all these workouts and all other practices I've done with my teammates. We fought together, we were tired together, we laughed together, and no matter what, we stuck together. From being a part of such a diverse team, and everybody is from diverse places, I learned how to accept differences, and I learned how to encourage each other, work hard together. And the best part is when we got together and raised a trophy in honor of victory, as we won the championship 4 times in a row, and I'm a proud owner of 2 Horizon League rings. YSU gave me family and a life-changing experience that is going to follow me for the rest of my life. Now that I'm graduating, this young little girl with a big dream of becoming a professional tennis player grew up into a woman who is ready to continue and pursue her dream. It's not going to be an easy ride, but I'm ready and fearless for anything that is going to come my way. I am honored and proud to have been a Penguin for YSU. I thank my coach, all my teammates, Marty Hayden, Ron Strollo, Trevor Parks, and President Tressel, and every other faculty member who made my experience splendid at YSU. I would like to also congratulate the Hively family for the award, and thank you so much for everything that you do for the university itself and every student athlete. As well, I thank the Penguin Club for supporting our program with championship rings, scholarships, faculty, and technology enhancements. Finally, I thank everybody else in this room, every donors and sponsors, for the support you've given to every student athlete. It helps us in so many ways, and we would like to let you know that we really appreciate what you do for us. One thing I'll never forget, once a Penguin, always a Penguin. Thank you.
You were nervous. That was very, very, very well done. Plus, she wanted me to mention the French thing because she was afraid of her English. I wish I had that accent instead of that Warren dialect that I carry with me. That's awesome. Thank you. Just to note, if you'd like to see Noelle and the rest of the YSU women's tennis team, they're at home this Saturday at 2 o'clock at the Boardman Tennis Center playing host to Ball State. Our next student athlete is a general studies major from Newcastle, Pennsylvania. As a tailback on the football team, he rushed for better than 1,000 yards, scored 13 touchdowns, starting all 11 games last season as a junior. He had 4 100-yard rushing games, gaining a career-high 183 yards against South Dakota State. Also had a career-best 4 touchdowns at South Dakota. He was named to the first-team All-Missouri Valley Football Conference while earning his 3rd letter. The highlight of his sophomore season, as everyone will remember, came in the national semifinal game when he rushed for 154 yards and 3 touchdowns in the win at Eastern Washington. Let's have a nice round of applause for Tevin McCaster.
All right, well, I just spilled water all over my speech, so good start. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for joining tonight. It's an honor to represent the YSU football team and speak before you all this evening. I want to start off by saying thank you to the Hively family for your passion for Youngstown State University and our athletic programs. Thank you for your dedication to improving the lives of not only our student athletes, but everyone in the Youngstown community. Congratulations on becoming the 2018 Penguins of the Year. To the Penguin Club, thank you for everything, from the scholarships, championship rings, to the best facilities. You give an opportunity to student athletes like myself to get an education while playing the game we love. Thank you. To my professors and academic advisors, thank you for pushing me to be the best student that I could be. And also my beautiful, hardworking sister, Tierney. She just graduated this past December with a Bachelor of Science degree. Since I stepped foot on campus, she showed me where my classes were, taught me how to study, organize, and take exams and notes. She's now serving the United States military as a 2nd lieutenant officer. Thanks for being the best role model. I'm proud to say that I maintained a 3.0 cumulative GPA throughout my years at Youngstown. Part of that came from my dad threatening me with the words, "I don't care about football. If your grades aren't good, kiss the baby." In other words, say goodbye to football. And I never questioned him because he meant everything he said. After my undergraduate degree, I plan to further my education and pursue my PhD in physical therapy. To my coaches and fellow teammates, we have created lifelong relationships and memories that will last a lifetime, and that I'll cherish forever. Even though we fell short of our goals last season, I've learned that you learn more from losing than winning. And as we prepare for the upcoming season and what I like to call my last go-around, we work to bring another national championship back to Youngstown. I couldn't thank head coach Bo Pelini enough for his competitiveness and his life lessons. Thanks for believing in me, Coach. He told me if I would work hard, that I could earn a scholarship, and that's what I did. I went from watching practice in the stands to a walk-on to a full scholarship. I'm very blessed and thankful to receive that. To my running backs coach, Coach Nick, I love you to death, and words can describe our bond. You put it all on the line for me, and I put it all on the line for you. Thanks, Coach. My favorite memories here will be things like after the game, giving kids my gloves, visiting elementary schools, and putting smiles on the kids' faces. I'm a firm believer in Christ, and I believe you can do all things through him. I'm forever grateful, and Youngstown will forever be my home. Thank you.
Thank you, Tevin. Easy to see why your parents are very proud, but I'm going to steal your dad's phrase now. I'm tired of those bang-bang phrases. I'm going to do kiss the baby now, all right? I don't know what it means, but I'm just going to use it anyways. Sounds good, rolls off the tongue, leads to a T-shirt. Or a giveaway. We don't know. We're always looking for giveaway items at our football games. Maybe that's what we'll do. Tevin's head and kiss the baby on the back. We'll see if Mr. Anthony's will sponsor that. All right, we'd like to recognize other YSU students in attendance at tonight. They're recipients of this year's Chuck Perizich Scholarship. The scholarship is in honor of the longtime sports editor of The Vindicator and is awarded to students who assist in the athletics communications department. Tonight, we have Ray Klempe, Chris Colella, and Mike Yorstowski. If they would all please stand. They're not shy. All right, before we honor our 2018 Penguin of the Year, I'd like to recognize our past Penguins of the Year. Would you please stand when I announce your name? Last year's recipient, Ed Reese. Dave Dybel. The Gasser family. Attorney Dennis and Janet Haynes. Also, Dr. Daryl and Vicki Mincy. Reed and Judy Schmutz. And lastly, our members of the YSU Football Alumni Club. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate all of your support and your continued efforts to make Youngstown State a better place. Well, I'd now like to have the president of the YSU Foundation come forward, Paul McFadden. As a proud YSU graduate, he's also a past Penguin of the Year. Paul and his staff continue to do an outstanding job at the foundation. As we welcome Paul to the mic, he will introduce to you our 2018 Penguin of the Year.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you to all of you here in the room. Like President Tressel, I've been a part of this event since 1991 when Mr. Malmaser envisioned it. It's an extraordinary event, and it would not happen without you. What a testimony to the support for Penguin Athletics. We thank you for your support this evening. I want to congratulate our student athletes. What a tremendous job you've done. So many of you stood when the accolades were out for grade point average. Tremendous job to our student athletes. And most especially, I want to thank Lee and Diana for the honor of introducing them this evening. I've known you for many, many years. We had breakfast in Bonita Springs 2 weeks ago just to prepare for this, and I think we brought the weather with us tonight from Bonita Springs. But I learned much about them in that brief breakfast meeting 2 weeks ago. And I think there's three pillars that describe the Hively family. I felt this way before the breakfast, and I felt even stronger after the breakfast. And the first pillar is work ethic, hard work. Everything they have done has been through their hard work. And they've passed it on through generations. It was passed on to them. The Hively family is embedded with a hard work ethic. Their second pillar is giving back. This evening is a testimony to their giving back, and it goes far beyond YSU and the Penguin Club. Giving back is part of the Hively family. And the third pillar, and the largest, the most important without a doubt, is family. All they talked about at breakfast was family. How fortunate they are for their parents and their siblings and what they've done to help them, and how proud they are of their children. Family is the third and most important pillar to Lee and Diana Hively. It's great to see Mrs. Henry here today, Lee's mom. Known you for many years with Mr. Henry. How many great years of Penguin fans you've been. We're so glad you're here today, Mrs. Henry. So they started telling me their journey, and they really started telling me more about Lee's journey. And this is not a roast, Lee, so don't. I know you think it's a roast. You know, Lee, born and raised in Canfield. He went to Canfield High School, but his first job came when he was 10 years old. He worked at White House Fruit Farm picking strawberries when he was 10 years old. And that impacted him so much that later in his life, other giants of our Penguin family, Frank and Norma Watson, sold them his farm, so now he can grow his own strawberries and he has his own orchard. And he was so impacted from the White House Fruit Farm experience when he was a youngster. He graduated from high school in 1969, enrolled in Youngstown State University, and then took a job at the A.P. O'Horrell Company. And Lee is not afraid to tell you, his first job, general labor. Literally in the trenches with a shovel, digging the dirt. But that work ethic is what was in his background. So he was fine with that. He started to grow. He moved up to foreman, moved up to superintendent, graduated from YSU in 1974, started moving up farther in the company. They brought him into the office. He was an estimator, project supervisor. Things were going very well for Lee. And then, like so many of us, like all of us, life happened. A script you would never expect, a twist and turn. It happens to all of us. And at a young age, Lee Hively found himself a single father with full custody of 3 children. So he needed a babysitter. So we shopped for a babysitter. And after the babysitter watched the kids, he had to drive the babysitter home. And you see where this is going. So Lee and the babysitter became an item. Yes, you think it's just on the TV shows, but Lee really married the babysitter. Now here's where I got two versions of the story, because Lee said, boy, it was magic and fireworks, and boy, it was fantastic. Diana said, boy, he asked me to marry him, and I love the kids. I knew I loved the kids. I wasn't so sure about Lee, but I love the kids. Love the kids. Well, 1982, they were married. They've been life partners ever since. We know what a tremendous partnership they have, and the rest is history. 4 years later, you fast forward a little bit, and now they're expecting another little one on the way, and Lee comes home from work one day. Diana says, how was your day? He says, great day at work. I quit my job today. Just what any expectant mother with 3 mouths to feed at home wants to hear. And that was the day that Hively Construction was born, 1986. If you know the projects, which they shared the list with me, that they've done across our valley, it's extraordinary. They kind of have a niche in building K-12 schools. They've built them throughout the Mahoning Valley and beyond. They've done very large projects for the FedEx Distribution Center, our friends at Comco Industry, our friends at Farmers Bank, our friends at Gasser Chair, numerous very large projects. They've also made an indelible mark on the campus of Youngstown State University with their projects, but I'll let Lee expand on that. But Hively Construction Company, started in 1986, has just gone on to fabulous success. Their second pillar, giving back. I think it's really neat to see they're passing it on to their children now, because not only are Lee and Diana on boards and give to various nonprofits, but now you see their children on boards and giving to various nonprofits. They've helped the Shrine Club. They've helped the Erie Children's Hospital, helped Youngstown Warren Regional Chamber. The list of organizations they have supported is extensive. And they've also supported YSU. For over 20 years, they're Penguin Club members. They have a loge on the second level of Stambaugh Stadium. I don't know if you've ever ventured up there during a game. Don't. Our student athletes are here, so I'm going to be politically correct, but they have some very unique game day traditions in the Hively Loge. I'm afraid to go in there, so I don't, because I'm working. But they have a good time. They have a great time. They've made major gifts to Youngstown State University. They've supported the Watts Center with a major gift, the Andrews Student Recreation and Wellness Center, and most recently, you haven't seen it yet, but they made a major gift to the Don Constantini Multimedia Center that will start taking shape in the East Grandstands next year. But as I told you, the most important pillar to the Hively family is family. They talk so much about you, Dorothy, how much they appreciate you. They talked about all their children. They talked about their sisters, how proud they are of their family. Family is the most important pillar to the Hively family. But also here at the YSU family, we're so fortunate they call us their home school. You know, when I asked them who is being honored today, Lee said, I'll only accept this on behalf of my family. When I talked to the family, they said, you know, this is all about Dad. So I don't even know who I was supposed to introduce tonight. But dear friends of our Penguins, dear friends, it's an honor to call to the podium the 2018 YSU Penguin Club Penguins of the Year, representing the Hively family, Mr. Lee Hively.
Welcome everybody tonight. It's a pleasure to be up here. And Paul, let me tell you, what an outstanding introduction, and I don't think that I really have to say anything else. I think you did a great job. But the first thing I'd like to do tonight is to say thank you to the Penguin Club and the athletic department for bestowing upon me and also my family such a distinguished honor and a privilege to be your 2018 Penguin of the Year. And I also would like to take this opportunity to congratulate all the student athletes and their coaches. They're up here celebrating their fantastic year of 2017, and I'd like to wish them all the best of luck in the year of 2018. Now, when they said the Hively family was going to be here tonight, you have to know the Hively family, and we're not just talking a few. I think we're even bigger than a posse, but that means I've got a lot of introductions to do this evening. So I'm going to try to make this as quick as I possibly can and try to keep things rolling. So what I'd like to do is I'm going to introduce them. I'm going to have them stand up, but the thing I'd like to do is have you hold your applause until I get a bunch of them to stand up. Okay? And I do mean a bunch. I'm going to start tonight with my wife's side of the family. And we're fortunate enough tonight to have her mother is here with us, and she has her husband. So at this time, would Lucy and Sandy Stewart please stand up? I knew they were here. Okay, and also tonight we have my wife's two sisters. They're both here with their husbands, and that's Debbie and Eric Griffith, Donna and Joe Cario. And also tonight we have her brother with us, and he's with his wife, and that'd be Pat and Lori Kersall, if they'd stand up. Now I'm going to get to my family. This could take us a little while, but I'm going to try to expedite it. And proper etiquette says I should always introduce the older of my two sisters. So I'm going to start with my older sister tonight. And she's here tonight with her husband. And it's an inside joke for the family you guys wouldn't catch. But anyhow, tonight that's Debbie and George Roman. Would you stand up? And along with them tonight, they have their entire family. So would that whole crew please stand up? And also with me tonight, I have my brother. He's here with his wife, and that's Huey and Lori Hively. And they have their entire family here tonight. Would they all please stand up? Then I have my younger sister. She's here tonight with her husband, and that's Laverne and Rick Carrera, and they have their entire family. Would they stand up? And I'm also fortunate enough tonight to have my deceased brother's son here tonight, and he's here with his wife, and that's Fred and Heather Hively. Would they stand up? Okay, this is a good start for us anyhow. So thank you very much for all of you being here tonight and supporting me, and I appreciate it. Now, the next person I would like to introduce here this evening is the one that I call the matriarch of the family. And I've heard her name mentioned several times tonight, and I'd like to introduce her, and that matriarch would be my mother, Dorothy Hively Henry. Would you please stand up, Mom? Now, if the truth be known, actually, Mom probably had more influence on not only me, but the entire family to be getting so involved with the YSU University. They've always been staunch supporters of not only the athletic department, but also the academic department. They have always contributed any fundraising campaigns that the university may be pursuing, be it a new building coming into the university, may it be any major renovation project they may need on the older buildings, and it could be anything that's coming in the near future. They've always sponsored numerous scholarships for the student athletes, and they've always been staunch supporters of the academic division. Now, you may, if you've known Mom and Bud back in the day, you could call them what we would say are sports fanatics. If YSU was playing, and it didn't matter whether it was football and whether it was basketball, if it was a home game, I can guarantee you they were there. If it was a away game, if they could possibly get there, they'd be there. So I guess what you could say about my mom and her late husband is if it's about YSU, they're all in. Now, tonight, my next introduction is definitely, has got to be the woman that is one of the most important people in my life. She is definitely my lover. She is the apple of my eye. She's the only girl that would really say yes. And on July the 24th, 1982, she became my wife. She's always been there for me. She's always supported me. And yes, she's always had my back. And I can honestly say tonight, if it were not for her, I don't know that I would be where I am today. I'd like to introduce to you my wife, Diana. Would you please stand up? Thank you, dear. Now, you know, as we've gotten older, we've gotten a little bit more spare time. And the two of us spend a lot of time in the patio. And back of the house, and we'll sit down there, and we may have a glass of wine or one or two or three or whatever. But anyhow, we're sitting there talking, and the conversation that normally will come up out there is, where did those 36 years go? They have gone by so fast. We've been so blessed, so many things, so many changes, it's just hard to believe. But the thing that we normally will talk about are look at all the things that we do have. And we're always saying, we have 5 wonderful kids. We have 11 grandchildren, beautiful grandchildren. When you think about it, look at all the friends that we have. And the number of people that we've been able to meet, different occasions and so forth. And it's just hard to believe. But there's certain things that really stick out. And one of the things that we talk about, and Paul hit on it, is our biggest, I guess, experience or whatever was when we started Hively Construction Company back in 1986. I'll tell you, the company has come a long way in that time. We took a heck of a gamble. Gamble paid off. Life has been great. We can't complain. The company is going strong right now. We have a lot of projects going on. We're successful in a lot of different things. But the one thing that really I cherish and I think about a lot is I'm fortunate enough that I have 4 of my children working beside me in the construction company, which brings me to a couple more introductions that I have to do here this evening. But before I do that, I was just thinking, and I have to apologize, and I'm probably going to hear about this big time. But when I was introducing that other group, there's a group that I forgot, and I can't forget this group, okay? And, you know, I already mentioned I have 11 grandchildren, and fortunately, we have some of them here tonight, and I don't want to forget them, and I don't want to overlook them. So at this point, with all my grandchildren that are here tonight, would you please stand up? Wherever they're hiding at. There you go. Grandpa is sorry, and I know you're here to support me, and I forgot you, and I'm sorry about that. But thank you for being here. Now, back to where I was at there. We was talking about the construction company. No, I lost my thought. But I'll get it back. It won't take me too long. But, you know, things have been pretty fortunate, but I'm getting ready to make some introductions here, and would you do the same thing that we did before? Let me have them all stand up, and then we can give them a round of applause. With me tonight, we have my oldest son, and with him, he has his fiancée with him, and that would be Lee III and Jolene. Would you stand up? I also have my oldest daughter here with me this evening, and she's here with her fiancé, and that's Rebecca and Mark. I have my number 2 son here with me this evening. He's here with his wife. And I call him number 2 because I don't want to call him the youngest. Okay, and he's here this evening, and that's Ryan and Nikki. And I also have my middle daughter. I can say that because I have 3 of them. She's here with me tonight, but unfortunately, her husband was not able to join us. And according to him, he said somebody in the family's got to go to work. So he stayed back, and he's running the business, and she's up here, and that's Crystal. And then the baby of the family, she's here with her husband, and that's Danielle and Larry. And where are they at? Thank you very much for all you kids being here, and I appreciate it. Now, I know we're under some really tight time constraints here, but I'd just like to take a minute out here and just maybe say a couple of things about each one of the kids. First one I'd like to talk about is Rob. It's Lee III, but we call him Rob. He started working for me back right after he got out of high school. As soon as he got out of high school, he went and joined the Carpenters local in Youngstown. He started working there and started as an apprentice. He became a journeyman carpenter. He started working out in the field, and now he works out in the field, and he's one of my main project superintendents out there. And him, along with his uncle, take care of all our outside functions and operations we have to do on a daily basis. Next, let me see, that would be my oldest daughter. Now, she graduated from Youngstown State in, I think it was 2004, and she is my office manager, and she takes care of all my accounts payable, accounts receivable, bills, taxes, union reports, you name it, she takes care of it. Answer the phone, put out fires, whatever the case may be. I guess what you could say about her is she is definitely my right-hand man. So she's in there, I hear something. But Then comes Ryan. I'm not going to call you number 2 son this time. Okay. He started working with me as soon as he got out of high school. And I always think of Ryan as he was kind of a self-made man. He came into the office. You know what? He didn't know a thing about construction. But he took the time, and had all the patience in the world, I guess. And he came in there, and he would sit down with all the guys that are working in there, estimating, working on different projects. And he'd start learning and talking to them, finding out what's going on. Next thing you know, he's out there. He's working nights. He's working night afternoons. He's busy working on the weekends. He took the time to learn what construction was all about from the office end of it. He's done a fabulous job, and he is now the vice president of Hively Construction. And what a job he's done. And him, along with another very valuable employee that we have at Hively Construction, between the two of them, they do all our project management. They take care of all the estimating. They also do all the architectural drawings. And then I have one special little job that Ryan does, and I call him my lawyer guru, I guess you would say. And anybody that's been in business for 30-some years, I guarantee you, it's good to have one of those gurus in your office. And one other thing that I'd like to bring up pertaining to Ryan, and it's affiliated with YSU. And Ryan mentors the class. They're I think is it the civil engineer and estimating class of Youngstown State? And I'm going to say they have all their students put together. And what they do is they divide the classes up into different teams. Each one of those teams is an estimating team. And what the university does, they go out to all the different local contractors, and they request of them to have one guy to come in and mentor one particular team. Well, you mentor that team for basically a whole year. And at the end of the year, they have estimating competition. Well, this year, Ryan's team, and he's very proud of it, was the proud winners of winning that competition at YSU. So congratulations to you, Ryan. The next one that works right in my office with me is Danielle. Oh, wait, I got to backtrack to Ryan because I see Nikki. And I just wanted to bring up Nikki because she also graduated from YSU, and I think she graduated in the year 2000. And the whole time that she was going to YSU, she was doing cheerleading for all the athletes out there. So I didn't want to forget about her. Okay, the next one is the baby of the family, and that's Danielle. Danielle also graduated from YSU, and she graduated in 2009. And after she graduated, she came to work at the company. She came in, she's kind of a greenhorn, but she's learning, she's coming up through the ranks. She now is our main outside salesman and sales calls person. She's very active at that. She helps her sister whenever things get pretty hectic in the front office. And she's always there to help anybody. Anything she needs done, she's willing to do it. And I'm sure that pretty soon she's going to become a very valuable person in that office. Then that kind of leaves me, that comes to my middle daughter, and that's Crystal. Okay, also she graduated from Youngstown State University in 2008, and then she continued on, and she graduated from Youngstown State one more time with her master's degree, and that was in 2010. So she's got a lot of affiliation with YSU. But Crystal was the one daughter, and she decided that she absolutely had nothing to do with the weather here in Ohio. She said, I'm headed down south. So her and her husband took off, went down south, hit southwest Florida. Well, they got down there, and sure as shooting, they turned around and they decided they were going to open a Handel's ice cream franchise down there. They currently have a store that's located in Bonita Springs, and they've been down there operating, I'm going to say, roughly 6 years. They're having a great time. The stores are doing well, and if you're ever down in Bonita Springs, make sure you stop off at the store. Now, she always says about how things are going down there, but they have one day in particular that would be probably of big interest to you people, and that's the day they call Youngstown Day. And that day usually occurs sometime in, let's say, February. I'm sure it's in February because we're in it. And anyhow, they have Youngstown Day, and what they do is they probably have, I'm going to say 200, 250 people. This lasts probably 2.5 hours. And yes, don't worry, she makes sure and coordinates it when she finds out that Jim Tressel and the whole entourage from Youngstown is making a swing through the state of Florida. And thankfully, Jim always comes over and spends some time. And I'm going to tell you what, you've never seen a crowd react as when this guy comes in there. He parks his car, he gets on the sidewalk, and they're like vultures. Everybody wants to see him. You know, I don't know anybody else that can go in there and he could talk to every single person that's in there. They all want his picture. They all want his autograph. They all want to shake his hand. But he'll do that for 2 hours straight. And I'm telling you, it's unbelievable, and we really appreciate it. But I think the best time for him is at the end of the day, he's getting ready to go home there, and he walks over to the counter, and he gets his favorite flavor of Handel's ice cream. And a lot of times he doesn't even get to eat it because it's melting down his hand, because as soon as he gets it, somebody wants to talk to him. But he does have a good time. We really appreciate him coming down there, and the people. And everybody is from Youngstown. Everybody, well, I shouldn't say, but a lot of them are Youngstown graduates, and what a great time they have. So I really appreciate that, Jim. Appreciate it. While we're talking about Hively Construction Company, I'd like to, you know, we have been in business now, it's well over 30 years. But whenever you have a business, you always have a couple of projects that I'm going to say kind of have a part of your heart, you're very, very proud of them. In fact, they're the type of jobs that you like to brag about or boast. Okay, and we happen to have a couple jobs that basically mean that to me, and I think they're some of the finest jobs that we've ever performed at. And they just so happen to be located on the campus of YSU. And one of those jobs was a project that we constructed in 2004, and it's called the Andrews Recreation Center. Now, I don't know how many of you know where that's located at, but I can guarantee you that every student athlete that you see here tonight, they know where it's at. That is one of the most phenomenal facilities that I think you've found anywhere. And if you ever get a chance or the opportunity to go down there, definitely go down. It's located right to the south of the stadium and right off of 5th Avenue. And I'm going to tell you what, you need to go down there and see what facilities are available to all the students. It's quite a building. And the other project that I'm talking about here this evening is one that I'm sure that every single one of you in here knows. And this is a project that we built back in, well, I'm going to say 2009, and it's called the Watts Sports Center. Anybody that's been to Stambaugh Stadium knows where the Watts Sports Center is at. And that's another building, whereas if you have not had the opportunity to go in, you need to take time out. You need to put it on your bucket list. You need to go down there and see it, because if you think that building looks big on the outside, where do you go to the inside? You inside that building, it's like the heavens opened up. That building is so enormous. And when you go in there and you see that complete football field and you see that track, it's just something to behold, and you definitely want to go down there and see it and make sure that you do get an opportunity. When you talk about the Watts Sports Center, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Football. Say football around the Hively family, they're all in it. They're all ready to go. Hively family travels with the football team, and we try to support them and maintain as much activity with them as we possibly can. And let me just say that the Hively family has always been active with the sports school there and so forth. And any opportunity we do get, we like to go. Now, we go to all the games. In fact, I think we've been to Penn State, we've been to Ohio State, Pittsburgh, West Virginia, you name it, we've been there. But when we start talking football, there's a lot of memories that we have. And like Paul's already told you, we have that loge up there. And I'm going to tell you what, we really enjoy it. And it's a big part of our family. But I'm not going to go there tonight. I'm going to go to something a little bit different. There's one game in particular, and we always like to have what we call Hively memories. And this particular game that I'm going to go to is a game back in 2017, which is just last year. And the game I'm going to be talking about is going to be the YSU National Championship Drive that we went to in 2017. That particular year, I think you all know that we were up there to play a team by the name of James Madison. We were going to be going to Frisco, Texas. Now, unlike previous years when we had national championship games on, the university would go out and they would get charter planes and take the fans, or at least as many of them as they could, to the games. Well, this particular year, they were not able to get any charters, so it was up to all the fans to find their own mode of transportation. Well, as soon as we heard that and we knew we were in the championship game, you can bet we were all together. We were talking about airline flights and all this stuff and how we're going to put it together and what day, what time, what hour, whatever have you. But while we were sitting there talking, the matriarch of the family, Mom, sits down and says, well, I'm not going. And we all looked at her and said, what? You're not going to go? She says, no, I don't feel that I'm going to be able to go through. She didn't want to fight the crowds there at the airport. She didn't want to have to go through the security, get up the long lines, get into this crowded plane. She didn't feel that she was up to it. Well, that's all fine and good. We all left that, and the next day we all get together and we have a little meeting. And we decided, well, you know what? Mom has been to every single YSU national championship football game that has ever been played. And we had made our minds up. There was absolutely no way that she wasn't going to go to this game. So we got together. We went out and we chartered our own plane. We had our charter come in the morning of the game to the Youngstown Regional Airport. We drove her out onto the tarmac, right up to the stairs to go on the plane. We loaded Mom onto the plane, and then right behind her, we had 40 YSU Hively family members get on that plane. And I'm going to tell you what a party we had. And we partied the whole way out to Frisco. We arrived in Frisco. We had a bus meet us on the tarmac in Frisco. We all loaded from the plane into the bus. The bus transported us over to the stadium there, and I don't know if you can tell what the stadium's name is. I'm not sure, but it's in Frisco there. Anyhow, we got there. We went and we tailgated with all the YSU faithful and all the fans, all the Penguin family. We had a great time. And then it got time. We were getting ready to go down. The game was going to get ready to get started. And if you're not familiar, and a lot of you probably aren't, at Frisco in this stadium here, you come up on the top side of the entire stadium, only way in. So when you're getting ready to go in, you have to be at the top, and you got to go down probably a zillion steps. It looks like a zillion. I don't think it is. But you got, and that's the only way to get in there, and that takes you right to the front of the stadium and right down to the football field. Well, we're in the process of walking Mom down the stairs, and unbeknownst to her, she had no idea where we were going to be sitting at. And I was able to get a hold of Jesse Potter, who was handling the tickets at the time. And fortunately, I was able to get the first 2 rows in the front of the stadium. Well, let me just say this much. We finally got my mom down there, and she saw where we were going to be. We're right in the front. Her eyes lit up. She got a smile on her face. And let me tell you, that is a memory that I can guarantee you this entire family will not forget. We had one heck of a good time. The outcome of the game wasn't exactly what we wanted, but I could tell you this, YSU put on one heck of a show, and they did a great job. So it's really been an important thing to be tied in with YSU. The Hively family is proud to be a part of the YSU family. So in closing, I would just like to say, I have 4 generations of Hively family here with me this evening. All you people here representing the Penguin family. Let me just say this, we are all one big family. Thank you very much for being here and giving me this honor tonight. I also want to thank you all for coming out here, supporting not only me, not only my family, but especially YSU. Thank you very much. Go Gwins.
Hang on, Lee.
Thank you.
Little something for you to wear next year during the season. He looked at the size. He wanted to make sure it was the right size. If it wasn't, it was Tom Morella's fault. But it is the right size. Good job, Tom. Congratulations, Lee. Congratulations to the Hiveleys. I want to know how I can become a part of that family. Or if you're looking for a number 3 son, I'm adoptable. Anytime you can charter somewhere, I'm in. All right, a couple of closing notes. Just a reminder, the swimming and diving team here at Youngstown State's competing in the Horizon League Championships starting tomorrow at Cleveland State. Good luck to coaches Ryan Purdy and Jacqueline Stanko. The baseball team's at Louisville this weekend for a 3-game series starting on Friday. Softball's in Virginia. They'll play at the Hampton Tournament starting on Friday. Men's and women's tennis are both at St. Francis on Friday. Just a reminder, the women are at home on Saturday to play host to Ball State at 2. The guys then go on Sunday to St. Bonaventure. Next week, the women's golf team is in Charleston, South Carolina for a 2-day event. Women's bowling is in New Jersey next weekend for a Hawk Flight invite at Monmouth University. It's a busy time on our campus. Hope to see you at an event. Thank you for coming out tonight. Enjoy your evening.